it's Anne. So, is this a stressful time for you? Are you maybe feeling a bit tense right now? Or maybe you're feeling peaceful right at this moment. Hey, let's pause and check. I can usually tell how stressed I am by the state of my stomach, the tension or the lack of it there. How do you know if you're stressed? So, even if you're feeling peaceful right now, you know that stressful things can happen suddenly, out of the blue. The unexpected can occur, and you might be called on to move quickly and make important decisions with no warning. Is there any way to prepare for emergencies other than being tense and wary all the time, which is really not good for your blood pressure? Well, my student Jim discovered that he'd been preparing for an emergency without even knowing it. Jim's wife had a heart attack in the middle of the night. And when he realized what was happening, Jim called 911 and accompanied his wife in the ambulance to the emergency room, holding her hand. She was terrified, and Jim was a strong, supportive presence for her. Once they got there, Jim advocated for his wife, describing her symptoms clearly and emphatically, so she got seen by a doctor right away. And the heart attack was diagnosed, and as decisions were being made about treatment, Jim kept a clear head, asking questions until he understood exactly what was being proposed, and he helped his wife understand it too. And it all turned out well. She had 2 stents put in and went home in a few days. So when Jim told this story to me and the group that he was part of, he said, "I forgot all about focusing. I just went ahead on instinct." And I said, "Really? Oh, I know it's true that you forgot about focusing. You needed your full attention for your wife and the doctors and the emergency, of course. And you did a great job being present and supportive for her and asking the right questions of the doctors. Is that how you would have been before you learned focusing?" And Jim said, "Well, actually, no. Before I learned how to be self-in-presence, I would have been nearly paralyzed by my own fear. I would have hung back and let the doctors make all the decisions. My wife would have seen how scared I was, and that would have been scarier for her. No, you're right," he said. "Somehow, because of focusing, the whole thing was a better experience for both of us." And that's what's so great about having a regular practice of being a calm presence for your own emotional states. In an emergency, when you really need to be calm and clear-headed, being calm and clear-headed has become automatic. You don't even have to think about it. So, what was Jim's daily practice? Well, number 1, he learned to notice when he was tense or upset. It's so important to notice. If we don't, we tend to act from our stressful feeling states instead of from our wisdom. And that invariably gets us into trouble. 2, when he noticed he was stressed, he paused and named what he was feeling with the phrase, "I am sensing something in me feels," like tense or upset or scared. And 3, he said to the feeling inside, "I am here with you now." Hey, it doesn't sound like much, but it's truly magical what a big difference this can make. And here's the thing, when you do this 3-step process and you get calmer, this is a long-lasting change. It doesn't just feel good temporarily. You get bigger. You become the one who can step back from your stressful feelings with compassion and say to the feelings, I am here with you now. And as Jim discovered, this builds a muscle of being able to be calm even when the stuff hits the fan. So give this a try. If you start now with the regular practice of notice, acknowledge, be present with it, I predict you'll be so much more calm when you really need to be. And of course, these small steps are just a taste of what's possible when you learn the whole focusing process. They're enough to make a difference. And imagine what more can change if you learn all of focusing. I love it. So here's to you having a more peaceful life.